evening, friends. And that particularly volumed one was for A.D. Sadler, who may be watching. He knows what I'm on about. Good evening and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists this fine, sunny and warm Thursday evening. We've gone past the longest day in so many ways, and the nights will be drawing in from here on in. But we will continue to bring light, to bring light, to bring love, to bring laughter, even in the shadiest corners of the fens. So thank you all for coming. And of course, a good evening to everyone online who's watching either live or in the future. Time travel, woo. Excellent stuff. Welcome to you all. I'll be sharing your comments when I get my bum sat back down. But of course, tonight is about love, laughter, and proof of life eternal. And tonight we have great pleasure in welcoming a medium who needs looking after because it's his first time with us, so be gentle with him. Give a big Littleport welcome to Michael Gooch. The irony is we stood talking before the service began. It's possible we're related. So there we are. The small. I'm going to say now you've got their sympathy, if nothing else. But small world in which it is, it's possible. I'll have to do some digging and let you know. But of course, let's kick right off, my friends, by beginning this service as ever. Because after all, this is a Christian spiritualist church dedicated to promoting the 7 principles of Christian spiritualism, as is the same as any other spiritualist find. But of course, it is a church nonetheless. Let us never forget that. And so let's begin by opening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under your banner of love, of hope, and of friendship. We ask that a blessing be placed on each person here present, all those watching and all those who will watch, and all those who are in need. We ask for that blessing now, Great Spirit. And of course, we ask for the veil to be lifted, that our loved ones might draw forward to give us that contact, that love, and that upliftment, and that proof that life is indeed eternal. So as we make our statement as ever, that everything we do is in love and truth and light, we place this service in your care and keeping. Amen. Well, friends, now, of course, is the time in this service where I usually have a few words to say about the week that's been, about the themes that have risen in this week, where I try my darndest to impart some spiritual upliftment and philosophy. And that's the interesting thing, because in this way of life, there are so many ways of looking at philosophy. We are open, and should be open enough, to understand that all sources that connect with the divine source and ways of interpreting it have a valid use and purpose. So we don't just stick to the 7 principles. There are many different ways of life. Hinduism, all of those religions called Abrahamic faiths. There's Wicca. There's New Age. There's whatever you want it to be. It's all part of one great message of love, compassion, and kindness. And that is the unending and enduring message from the world of spirit. It is the job of anyone who speaks for spirit to share that message. But the message changes and grows over time. And I'd like to give a personal explanation of that. I spent so much of my teenage years and my adult years reading and loving the poem Desiderata. I loved it. It meant all to me. Now, I still consider it to have great value and worth. But there's a couple of lines in there that I have great issue with. Go placidly amidst the noise and haste, and know what peace there may be in silence. Nothing wrong with that. Be forever on good terms with all peoples. No problem with that. Even the dull and ignorant, they too have their story. I have a problem with that. Because if you are referring to someone as dull and ignorant, you're really not giving them the time of day or credit they deserve. Whilst it may be on some level true, to use those words to describe someone really isn't listening or giving them the time of day. If anyone thinks that they can throw stones, they obviously never read what Joshua Carpenter said about throwing stones. And it is an aspersion. But does it destroy the purpose and meaning of all of those other words that follow? No, of course not. There's still much to learn from Desiderata. There's still much beauty and great lessons. And it guided me through my youth and into my adulthood with great wisdom and strength. But I have decided that I have evolved some way away from that because I don't sit well with a few words. Do I criticize other people if they love it? No, because I spent so long doing that. We all have our own path to follow, my friends. We all have our own way of perceiving spirit, our own way of reaching out to the divine, and our own way of communicating that message. All of the messages from spirit include love, compassion, and yes, just for Esther, just be kind. But the truth is, there will be times when you need to grow apart from things that have been a part of you for so long. Because you have grown away from it or beyond it, that's fine. But never forget the lessons that you have learned on that journey. And always do the one thing that matters the most. Just do your best. Try. No one can knock you for that. Life is a struggle, painful enough as it is, without beating yourself up over the past. And I know I can tell you this today. We must move forward in our lives and stand firm in our beliefs. And if our beliefs differ, that's fine. Find a way to work through it, because that is what Spirit wants us to do. And I will continue to do that on your behalf as members of this church with every fiber of my being and every breath in my body. That is my promise and commitment to you. But I will never, ever, ever surrender who I am. And neither should you. Be yourselves. Be filled with love and laughter and upliftment. And in the words of Arthur Conan Doyle himself, never, ever give an inch. We've been talking today about great mediums. And I am reminded that Gordon Higginson told a story in a special event that he was hosting. So I will be quoting him on this. But he was talking about another really great exponent of this way of life, Estelle Roberts. And it was actually the last time Arthur Conan Doyle approached a public forum for spiritualism. And afterwards, he went up to Estelle Roberts and said, carry on. Take the word of Spirit out to the world. Prove the continuity of life and the compassion and laughter and love of Spirit, and never give an inch. Those are the words of the same man who created Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty. And of course, we must not forget the good Dr. Watson, the long-suffering aid of a man who was both crazy, mad, and complicated. Sound familiar, anyone? But of course, I digress. Carry on. Be happy. Be fulfilled. And do your best. Because that's all what Spirit wants. And that's all we can do. So God bless you all. And thank you for listening. And so now, we're going to see if Spirit have connected myself and Reverend Alan. He's up in Cleethorpes. He's fighting, raring to go with his reading for us tonight, and I ain't got a clue what it is. But so now we are going to ask those magic words to summon forth the vision behind us of Reverend Alan. So the magic words are, if you've never heard them before, Reverend Alan, are you there? So after 3, 1, 2, 3, Reverend Alan, are you there?
I certainly am, Nick. Certainly am. Good evening. Good evening, Littleport. Good evening, everybody watching online. Tonight's reading is quite a short one for me, to be quite honest with you, but nevertheless, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did when I found it. It is called, What is the Greatest Gift? What is the greatest gift? Could it be the world itself, the oceans, the meadowlark, the patience of the trees in the wind? Could it be love, with its sweet clamour of passion? Something else entirely holds me in thrall. That you have a life that I wonder about more than I wonder about my own. That you have a life, courteous intelligence, that I wonder about more than I wonder about my own. That you have a soul, your own, no one else's, that I wonder about more than I wonder about my own. So that I find my soul clapping its hands for yours more than my own. Thank you.
Alan, so true, and thank you. And yes, very much so. Alan, I know that you're not going to be online for a couple of weeks because you're going to be busy, aren't you? Are you there or are you froze? Oh, he's back. That was magic. So yes, I know you're not going to be with us for a couple of weeks, are you not, Alan?
Yeah, that's right. I have got health issues and I've got a lot of appointments coming up. They're coming in as and when. I don't know when they're going to be, and I just think it's unfair to have to say to you, I can't do it tonight, Nick. I'd rather take the 2 weeks, get all this over and done with, and then start afresh. Hopefully feeling much better than I do right now.
Yes. And of course, we will be sending our healing thoughts to you during the healing. But Alan, I appreciate everything you do for us, and near or far, you do reach out, and thank you for your support. And I give you my friends, Reverend Alan.
Thank you, guys. Have a
See you in a
brilliant
bit,
evening.
mate. God bless, buddy. Well, friends, now is the time in our service. I just mentioned it. It's time for some healing. I know it's time for healing because Tony's just been digging into his pocket, making sure he's got everything he needs. I will be handing over the next part of this service to Tony. All those that wish to and are able to provide healing, please prepare yourself by standing up and going to the back of the hall so you can see hands risen. And I will join you in a moment. And so now I will hand over to Tony to lead us all in healing. Over to you.
You're very kind. Oh, dear. Well, our healers are at the back ready. So if you require some healing or would like some healing, just raise a hand. And yes, there we go. That should be 1 or 2 or 3 each. Yeah, we're fine. Didn't you know you needed some healing? But before we do all that, one there, one there, 2 there. Yeah. I'll go over the back. Yeah.
And I'll come to the front.
Okay. Yeah, fine. And I'll do Linda. Yeah. Over there. We're fine. Thank you. I have to say just a few words. Healers, get yourselves ready and start when you must. That's fine. Where groups of like-minded people such as us are formed, they will grow. And as they grow, love, compassion, and the gift of healing will also grow. When one gives healing, healing is present and grows exponentially. The power of healing is multiplied by the Great Spirit. So now we ask, Great Spirit, for those who are sick and suffering, for those in need, heal them now. Thank you, healers. Just pull yourselves back now. And a special thank you to all those of you who asked. I know it takes a bit of courage. Thank you.
Absolutely, totally agree. Thank you, Tony. And thank you to our healers and the recipients. He is absolutely right. Asking for help is always the first step. Receiving it is also the second. And then hopefully everything follows from there. Well, friends, now I've swapped my glasses. I can see you again because I keep jumping twixt and tween. In a moment, I am going to hand over the rest of this evening To the lovely Michael, now please be nice. Look after him. Send him your loving thoughts and upliftment. Answer in a clear voice, yes, no, don't know, should he come to you. And of course, should the curtains start fluttering and the chairs start spinning, you can follow me. I'll be the first one out the door. And I've just been reminded, actually, looking at the screen there behind me for everyone watching, especially those that are in circle with me. Doesn't that look familiar over in that corner? For all the meditations that I guide people in, a doorway filled with light opening up. And there is one in the corner of the stage, but it leads out into a car park, not the world of spirit, so you're fine. But friends, please give upliftment, love, laughter, and enjoy the rest of your evening as we welcome Michael Gooch. Plug you in, and it's all over to you. I'll give you 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to be here for the very first service. I don't usually do this, but I have to come to you first of all. As we're sitting here, I did actually ask you if you've got a great grandmother in spirit, and she's very much around you at the moment of time. And I do feel a sense of emotion here, which is coming from you. I feel that you had an experience which has kind of knocked you a bit. But your grandmother is saying you were a very strong character. You had powerful words in your demonstration, which I sat there thinking, well, you're giving them what I'll give to you. But she's very proud of you, in your life, and as you grew up, you was close to her as well when she was alive, and a very knowledgeable lady as well. She's letting me know, very much a homely person as well, but a lot of love. She had a lot of love to give, and she also gave a lot of healing energy thoughts as well out to everybody and everybody who she knew and people that she did not know. She sheds a little tear because she says, why do people treat people as people when there's so much badness in the world, But she said, you've got over what has happened to you. It's been hard for you, but you've done it. You've got over it. Your father comes in, a very lovely, jolly man, I feel, a man who read quite a lot as well. I feel, and he's very proud of you. He put his arm over your shoulder and says, come on, boy, the road is there for you. There's a lot more coming up for you as well. He's showing me the sun, and he's saying, it's a beautiful path which is ahead of you, okay? But little steps, okay? You're going to be approached within a year or 2 years to do a big service as well, because they feel that you need that experience, and you've got the knowledge there with you as well. And you said you'll be surprised you'll be surprised of how well it goes as well. And they said that it will be a very, very big demonstration that you have got to do, but you can do it, okay? And they will prepare you. There'll be little bits and pieces coming, and you're thinking, what's going on here? Because they'll be diverting you to this area and then that area, and you'll be thinking, what on earth is going on? But it's all a game plan for you, okay? I felt your father might have had a bit of problems with his health before nearing passing. He loved life, someone who loved life as well, out in the garden. I don't know if he grew vegetables or anything like that, but he's very, very much a homely man as well. And he wants to send a lot of love to you, his wife. He said, you were such a lovely wife to me. And he said, we had such a happy marriage. Can you understand that, my darling? And he says, I'm always with you. I'm always by your side. And you have a beautiful light around you. And sometimes he comes into that light. And I don't know if you feel him sometimes, or you can sense him around you. And sometimes he might throw in a smell, like a flower or a sweet scent. I don't know if you've had that experience where you felt that. That's him coming in. And he hugs you at times. He says, I put my arms around you because I miss that. Because apparently he would hug you when he was with you, a very loving man as well. So proud of his family, so proud of you, so proud of you. And he said, when I first met you, he said, I knew that I was going to marry you. He said, I know you was the lady for me, he says. Okay, and he shows me, he stands there, quite a well man, rounded man, but very, very happy. Always had good dinners, he says. You always gave a good dinner. You always looked after me, he says. And even in my time when he was ill, that love never that love burned brightly, he said, and I could see it in your eyes. I said, and he could see the careness that you gave him as well, and he appreciates that very, very much. He's showing me a cat or cats. I don't know if you're aware of cats or cats. I've been sitting there, I don't know if it's related to you, but he's just showing me a load of cats and animals. I don't know if he was an animal lover. I don't know if you had cats, but he's just saying there's a load over here, he said, and he's always with them. You know, he said, because they give you unconditional love. He said, like you, darling, that's how he's saying, that's how it's coming through to me, that you gave unconditional love for him. And he just says, I'm so happy that you was my wife. And he says, he says, as you are maturing in age, he said, you need to take things a little bit slower. Okay. He said, look after your health. Okay. He said, there's things you would like to do, but you find that you're not being able to do. And he says, just go with your body, you know, look after yourself. He says, I'm here for you. I'll give you absent healing as well. Like you can give your mother absent healing. You can give your mother healing as well, as you receive healing as well from the spirit world as well. They said they're very proud that they say to me that it's not surprising that you went into ministry, okay? He said, because that was ordained as well over this side, okay? And they're very pleased how you present yourself and in your beliefs. And he says to me, never change what you believe. Speak from the heart, because you speak from the heart. And he said, and that's most important, because words are very important. He said, words can be turned around and they could be used in not good ways. He says, but you have a beautiful light around you and you speak the truth. And he says, never ever lose that truth. Okay, sir? So he sends his love to you. The grandmother comes in as well and gives you a beautiful big hug. She says, I'm often in your room. I'm often looking around. That's what she's saying. She's often there, you know. And again, I don't know if you've experienced a nice sweet smell around you, or you felt someone close to you. She's saying, that's me, my darling, that's me coming close to you. Okay, she's so proud of you. And emotionally, she makes me feel really, really happy inside. So I know that happiness is aimed at you, okay? And there's going to be, I don't know if you've ever seen her, or you've seen like a shadowy kind of figure around the home. And she said, well, that's me. She said, and you know, so sometimes they do say, don't they, you can see them at the corner of the eye, and they say to her, slowly move around and you'll see her. And she says, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, boy, for you. Okay? Thank you very much. And thank you, my darling. Lots and lots of love for you. The wife, the woman of my life, he says, and he's very, very proud. But look after yourself. He says it's important you look after your health. There's no problems around, I don't feel at the moment. So just keep your chin up, you know, because I feel that sometimes, you know, you've been down in the bumps. And again, I think some people have not been very kind to you. He says, you know, but you know, you're a strong character as well. You know, he says, and you raise above it because you're a beautiful woman and you have a beautiful light around you. So take all his love, and he brings in a little black cat for you from the spirit world for you as well. Okay, so take his love and know that he's with you and he's always with you. I never leave you. He says, I'm always by your side. Okay, so thank you very much for working with me. Thank you very much for working for me. Can I come to the gentleman there, the healer of the leaders? You know, I'm very much aware of I don't know if you're aware of very much of the Indians, but I do feel that you have a medicine man around you. I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's around you, and he very much influences you. Because he says, I want to help you in what you do, because you are such a good healer. You have such a good, kind heart as well. And he says, you know, he says, you look a bit like an Indian. You've got the traces of an Indian. So I don't know if you had a past life as an Indian, but you've got those looks, you know. But he's a very proud man. He stands very tall with all his gleam on, and he wants to take his top, what do they call them? These what they used to wear, and put it on your head as well. There's a lot of changes coming for you as well. So within your healing, okay, but good things. Again, there's a big demonstration coming up for you, perhaps a year to 6 months. You're not aware of it at the moment, but you're going to be approached. Okay, because of the knowledge that you've got up here that you can learn, that has a you teach other people, they say they want to open you up. They want to expand. They want you to expand. Okay, but little steps. Okay, they're throwing the ball into your court and saying, you know, you do it when you feel that you're capable of doing it. He says, there's no need to rush. You have a beautiful angel guide with you as well, who stands there above with you. But I do feel that there's a strong link here with the Indian link here, a very strong link as well. And he wants to do what he can to help you as well. I don't know if you've ever done automatic writing, sir, but there's coming up where you might be influenced to write words down. You might feel the need to write, and he's saying that is him actually drawing close to you, influencing you, and you'd be surprised what you're going to write. Okay, but it all takes time. Okay, making me aware that you're a dog lover. You love dogs. They're very much a dog lover. You know, I don't know if you've got a dog, but you've got a dog. They're very much a dog lover, and because animals know healers. So, you know, I don't know if you get dogs to come up to you, or any animal, to be honest with you, cats or anything, you know, because they know a healer and they know a good heart, you know, and your dog is very loyal to you as well, very, very loyal to you as well. But he shows me it's this beautiful dog just looking at you with this lovely smile on his face, you know, because you love him from your heart. You know, and he's very, very aware of that love that you give him, sir. I have a grandmother link here also for you as well in the spirit world as well on your father's side. I don't know if you know the lady, but she comes in. So if you're not aware of it, just hold on to that, and you might ask family. But she's very much aware, and I feel that she was a healer herself, but not like you. She was more in prayer, sending out absent healing. Because it does run in the family as well, the healing. I don't know if you're aware of that, sir, but she's just making me aware that she was a healer as well. And she's very proud also how you are working as well, because you take it very seriously, you know, and the spirit world are very pleased how you work with other people as well. So there's knowledge coming to you as well, sir. They show me a book. I don't know if you read books, but there's a book coming to you, and you're going to... It's going to kind of like fall in your lap in a way, but it's going to be a very knowledgeable book, okay? And you're going to learn a lot. And it's a book that you won't be able to put down. You'll read a couple of pages, but I think, no, I've got to pick it up again. I've got to read it again, you know. And he's saying to me that you're going to read it more than once because it's going to have such an influence on your life and how you perceive and how you look at things. Okay, you're going to read it. He says about 2 or 3 times because it's that going to grip you that much. So just take that in hand. A lot of family around you in the spirit world are around you. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you do have a lot of people around you, standing around you, giving you a lot of love and that. Very close family links as well, I feel, when you was growing up as well. Yes, yeah, very good. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, and yeah, you says though a good communication. You've got good communication links, so within the family as well. You know, you're good at speaking to one another. You know, some families are over there and they don't speak, but your family weren't like that. Your family was quite good talkers. You know, and sensible things as well. You talk about, you know, and the state of the world sometimes. But general chit chat, but good, but good links to you, sir. What's it saying? A picture. There's a film showing me. She's just showing me a film that you might ever watched once, which left quite an impression on you. I don't know if it's going back in your youth into your life, but it's not a very strong link. I'm asking her to make it for, but she's not really making it very strong. But it's a film which you saw, which you kind of got up and you kind of thought, oh, okay, you know, but she's not making it really strong for me to actually give you more information about that. So I don't know if you can take that or you know that, you know, you think, you know, oh, okay, then, yeah, yes, please, so yeah, do that. Okay, then, there's a lot of love for you, a lot of healing coming to you as well, because as a healer, you need healing as well. I think we saw a lot of people, healers go wrong. They give it, but but you need it as well. So you do receive healing as well from the spirit world as well. And you also get a lot from the medicine man, which is around you. Okay, I do feel he is a guide for you. I do feel he's the main one for the healing that you give. So I don't know if you've had him or you've been given him before. I don't know, but you have. Okay, thank you very much, sir. So, but he is there for you. Within 2 years, you're going to be somewhere where you never expected to be. Now they're not telling me where, but it's going to happen. Okay. But I do feel it's a working field situation, okay? And I do feel there is a lot of people, okay, there as well. But it's going to be a very interesting situation for you, something which again is going to change your life in a good way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with your life at the moment. You're sincere, you do your healing, which is great, it's lovely. But they want to give you a little bit extra. Okay, so take that love that they give you and your Indian guide, which is around you. Carry on with all the good work that you're doing because it's most appreciated what you do, sir. Okay, so, and he says, when you go home, kiss your dog for him. Okay, thank you very much for working with me, sir. Look, I'm nervous, look. Can I come to the young gentleman sitting in the back there? Hello there. Hello, how are you? Good, yeah. Right, I have a grandmother in spirit world for you. Yes, okay. And she's saying to me, you're quite a quiet soul. You kind of like keep yourself to yourself. You don't like a lot of noise. You don't like to mingle very much. And she's saying you're a young boy. She said you should be out there mingling, out there meeting people. But you said you're quite content sitting at home watching the television, perhaps reading a book. I don't know if you read books, but she's very much around you, and as a child, I do feel there's like a closeness there. Can you understand that, sir? And she's very much aware of your life as it is at the moment. And she says she wants to, I can't say that. She kind of like wants to shove you out there, out in the world. I don't know if you've ever thought about traveling, sir, but she's kind of like showing me, like going abroad. Something that interests you. But she says to me, places of interest, because I think you've got an interest in mind. Okay, it's not Sunsea and all that kind of business. I think you would like to go somewhere and learn. You like the history of the place of where you are. You like to get to know the people, the locals. That's the kind of person you are. You're quite intelligent, aren't you, sir? You're quite intelligent, aren't you? You don't think so, do you? She's saying to me that you are. And she's going like this. She's saying, dirty habit. But it's up to you. She laughs. She said, but it's up to you, okay? She's not saying yes. She's not saying no, okay? But that's just what she says. A good, kind heart, she says that you've got, and you don't like being hurt as well. Nobody does, not really, do we? But you're very much on your guard as well, again, with people. You read people quite well, don't you, as well? You do, don't you? Yeah. She said he doesn't say very much neither. That's just what she's saying to me, to you. But a lovely little lady when she was here, and she's very kind and very sweet and had a lot of admiration and love for you. And that love carries on even in the spirit world. That gives back to you as well. There is a group of friends that you have around you, a group of friends, and they're good friends as well. And again, it's the way you connect with people. You read people. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you read people quite well, and you know who's going to be a good friend, and you think, no, I don't really want to be with him. And she's saying you're using your intuition. Do you sit in circles, sir? That's a question. There is an opportunity there for you if you want to develop. Sit in circle, in a spiritual circle. Yeah. Are you aware of this? Have you thought about doing this? You've thought about doing this because the opportunity is that if you want to learn, okay, and you would make a good medium as well because you have a good steady heart and you're always willing to learn, okay. So I mean the opportunity's there, and I'm sure that if we can help you to find a circle. I don't know if you sit in circle at the moment. No, you don't sit in circle at the moment. No, okay, that's fine. No, she's saying to me, no, he doesn't. So it's there for you. So if you want to do it, okay. And she says, read read the books that are interesting to you. Okay, speak to people, find out information. Okay, because that's what you do before you make a decision. I feel you find things out and then you'll make your decision. Okay, you understand that, sir? Okay, then thank you very much. Yeah, she brings to you a lovely bunch of roses as well, red, yellow, and white roses as well. I don't know if you can take that if you like roses when she's on the earth plane, but she gives those to you, and she says, "Son, I'm always around you. Talk to me." She says, "Though we can't hear them, they can hear us, and they can hear everything we say." She says, "Sit down, have a cup of tea, and just natter to me." She said, "Don't care what other people might think, seeing you talk to yourself or even mine talk, because she'll answer you and she'll help you in whatever possible way that she can. So if you want even help, just say, I need talk to her and talk about what you need to talk to, and she'll help you." Because that's what they're there for. Because even when they do pass, that love always is always there, and they'll always come around and they'll always help you. Okay, you're a very special boy. She says you're a very and you had a special place in her heart. Okay, so take her love that she's there with you. Okay, know that she's working and she's around you as well. She says, but go out and enjoy yourself a little bit more. She says, please, it's all right staying in, but you need to get out there, get a bit of the fresh air. She said, even go for a walk if you want to, but a good heart and a loving young man. And she's pleased that you came into her life. Okay. And she's very much there for you. So take her love and know that she's working with you, and she's there for you whenever you need to talk to her. Okay. Thank you for working for me. Do you know, I've been sitting there and I don't usually do this, but I've got loads of cats. Does anybody, I'm going to throw a question out, and I don't usually work like this. Does anybody know a person who should be here is not here and had loads of cats? No, it doesn't matter if you don't. It's just I sat there and I just got this. You know someone? I'm a bit luggy, my love. You've got lots of cats. Oh, okay, because I sat down, I think, and I couldn't see who I was going to, but I just knew I had loads of cats. Yeah, so you very much a cat lover. And have you had cats come up to your place when you don't even know who they are? Because sometimes animals will do that. They'll just turn up. Yeah, you're very much a cat. You're very much a cat lover. Yeah, another animal lover. Sorry? Any animal, yeah. And do you give healing to these animals? Because you've got the ability to give healing to animals. Are you aware of that? Sorry? Oh, do you? Oh, lovely. Okay. Yeah. Okay then, because that's just what she's got to say there. And I've got a grandfather link here for you in the spirit. A grandfather link in the spirit world, yeah, and he's around you as you do your good work. He says, "What a wonderful lady that you are." Because animals give unconditional love, don't they? And they're saying, what you give, you get back tenfold as well. So, and they're saying the next couple of months, look out for a lovely treat which is going to come your way. Okay, it's going to be a lovely surprise. You don't know nothing about it. Just letting me know, because they want to thank you for that, and they appreciate what you do for the animal world. So they're going to come through, and he says, I'm going to be there as well to help you. I don't know if you ever feel him around you. That he says he's quite around you at sometimes. He's quite close around you. A lovely man while he was on the earth plane, as well. Very kind gentleman. As well, someone who'd like to talk, someone who'd take time with you. Great. I've got country situations around. I don't know if he was in the country, but he loved the country. He loved to wake up, fresh air. Hear the birds singing. It's very much a family man as well. Was on the earth plane as well. Took time to listen, and he liked to learn as well as he listened to people talking to him as well. But he used to like to give information out as well to people. An animal lover as well, I feel as well. He was as well as well. He says to me, he used to sit in the garden sometimes and just like to listen to the birds singing, all the different songs and that. A very quiet man he could be at times. Yeah, very quiet man it could be at times. But also someone very understanding as well in his thoughts, and has he thought about things as well, and how he corresponded to other people, how he communicated with other people. Can you understand that, my lovey? Yeah, you was quite very little. Yeah. But a man who left an influence on you as well, you know. And she said, just because I passed, it wasn't that I didn't, you know, I missed you, but I was able to come back because I feel he was quite ill before he passed into the spirit world. Yeah. And he says, you know, he said, when I left my body, I was okay. I went upstairs, he says, you know, and they all looked after me. And he said, I want, you know, so they can come back to look after you as well, and to watch what you do, and everything that you do is appreciated. You have a lovely aura around you as well. Lovely white aura. Is that your daughter sitting there? Because she's got it as well. You kind of like gel together. And a lovely young lady, a good heart as well. She has, he's saying, she has, you know, and he's often around, very shy young lady, but he's often around her as well. Okay, just giving her strength and understanding. Okay, a very good strong link there as well, he says, between mother and daughter. Okay, he's saying very strong link there for you, and he says you like to read as well. He's saying you like to read, you love your books, you'll read anything. He says you'll read anything interesting. He says you pick a book up, and if you like it, you know it's for you, and you'll get it and you'll read it. And he says you have a wide vocabulary. Have I said that right? Vocabulary. Have I said that right? Yeah, well, you read a lot of books, and they're all different type of books as well. Yeah, and he says you often got your nose in there when I come and have a look, and he says I'm over my shoulder looking at you, reading it, and you know, somebody likes, somebody thinks really, you know, he has a good chuckle as well. Again, I don't know if you're aware of a nice sweet smell in the room, or a coldness sometimes, or a shiver. If you shiver sometimes it's them just letting you know that they're quite close to you. It's just a way of letting them know that they're there for you, and they're around you at the moment of time. Holidays. He's showing me holiday situations. Have you been abroad, or not abroad, but holidays in the past? You've had holidays in the past. Family holidays. Yeah, family holidays. He's showing me that. I don't know if you've ever been abroad. Ever been abroad for a holiday? Yeah, because that's what he's saying. He said, I want you to let you know that I'll just hear what you was talking about, you know, and he's saying, if you want to do it, he says, do it. He said, because it'll be a beautiful experience for you. Pick somewhere where you want to go, okay, and go there and really enjoy yourselves, okay? He said, because he said, I will be with you while you're there as well, okay? So take all his love that he's with you. A really lovely gentleman there for you. Take the holiday, he says, because, you know, enjoy it. He says, just enjoy it. He said, you know, we have things happen in our lives. He said, and if you've got the opportunity to do it, he said, take it, okay? And take all his love with you. And thank you for working with me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello there. Can I come to you, Lady Great? I've got a grandfather link here for you in spirit. A grandfather link, a very, very noble young gentleman. I want to say young gentleman. That's how he comes forward. A gentleman while on the earth plane was. I do feel he was quite knowledgeable. This man. He's making me feel very knowledgeable. How he presents himself to me as he stands here in front of you, looking at you, you know, and he's saying, "My girl." That's what he's saying. You know, and I do feel you look a little bit like him in his features as well. Very proud of you. He says how you've conducted your life. You know, I want to talk to you like if he's a teacher. I'm not saying he was a teacher, but that's how he comes over to me, a very noble gentleman. And he said you've picked your life and you've done things in your life what you've wanted to do. Okay, he says you've not been influenced by other people in your decision making. You know, you've done what you've wanted to do, you know, and in a way saying, I'm not really listening to you because I want to do this and I'm going to do it. Okay, so if you can understand what he's saying there about that, good family life. I do feel there's been children around you as well, and you've been a good mother as well, a very good mother, and he's been with you since he passed into the spirit world. He went over there, then came back again because he wanted to be around you. Okay, there's some interesting things coming in your life within the next, I would say about the next 6 months to a year. Some very, very nice things are going to happen for you. Okay. Do you do the lot? I'm asked a question. I see you. I see you doing numbers. I see you doing numbers. Okay, and these numbers are going to bring benefits. Okay, so it's not now, but I would say 6 months to a year. It might be something that you don't do. You wouldn't even think about doing it, but some reason you just, I'm just going to do it, and you're going to be surprised of what happens or what comes out of that decision. Okay, so just hold on to that. He's just that's what he's saying. He stands out like this, and he's saying, "You don't believe what I'm saying." That's what he's saying. He says, "But you watch what happens," and he's doing this. You watch what happens, okay? Because I feel that you looked up to him when he was on the earth plane, when he was alive. You know, you had a lot of respect. As he says, I have a lot of respect for you then and now. Okay, that's what he says to me. And you show me a car journey. You drive a car, and he's showing me your journey. Okay, and it's far. It's in England, but it's far. He's saying it's far, far away. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to Scotland or you're going to Cornwall. I don't know, but he's just saying it's far, 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 far away. And he said it's something. He says to me again. He said it's planning, particular planning. What you're going to do. He's showing me, you're looking at the map, okay, and you're looking somewhere to go, where you've not been before, and something that you've not done before. Okay, and I do feel he's kind of like influencing you a little in this situation, okay, and where you're going to go, he says, I really feel he's got an influence on this situation with you. It's kind of like saying you're going to go there, and you're going to go there. You know, and he stands and he's just got this smile. He said, I know how to work her. Can you understand that? He says, I know how to work her. I know how to get round her. I don't know if he's like that when he's like that on the earth plane. But he says, I understand her. I know how her brain works, he's saying. And he's got a cheeky little smile on his face as he says this. And he says, but you'll really, really enjoy it. Okay. And he says, wherever you go and you take a little tipple, he says, just raise the glass for me. He says, I got you down there. He really is going to influence this. I can't get away from that. You know, he says, you are a strong person as well within yourself. Okay. There have been times when you have been knocked. Can you understand that, my love? You've been knocked, but you've got up and you fought the fight. Can you understand that? He's not telling me but she knows what I'm talking about. Okay. And that's where that inner strength comes from. Okay, I got a grandmother link as well in the spirit world. A beautiful woman, a little lady there. You know, someone would be in the kitchen. They usually the generation doing cooking food and helping. I feel that you would be in the kitchen. She'd show you how to do things. You learn quite a lot from this lady. Again, a very much lot of love there from her to you as well. Very happy how you've produced your own children and how you've taught them certain things as well. Could you understand that? You know, I mean, they can come to you, they can talk to you, but you always kind of say, well, this is this. You now go away, you make your decision, because that's how you have perceived your life. And it's giving them, she's saying it's giving them that piece of independence, you know, because she says, she makes me laugh. She says, they can't always hold on to your apron forever. You know, they have to go out of that door and they have to live their life. But it's always nice that you're there for them and they know that you are there for them, okay? And that's 100%. And so they're happy to go out, but they always know there's the phone, or they can come back and say, Mum, you know, can I discuss this with you? And you will sit down and you will discuss and be very level. You're very level-headed, he says to me. You're a very level-headed person. He makes me aware, money, you're good with money? Sometimes you're good with money, yeah, because he's saying to me, you know, when you are good, you are good. And again, it's like, it's like you're putting everything down. You think, can I do this? Can I do that? If I do this, can I do that? And that's how you do it. And then you make your decision. But he said there are times when you just go out and you do that like that. And then you sit back and think, well, should I really done that? But it's too late. He says you've done it. So if you can understand that, what he says to you. I've got carnations. I've got carnations. If you can take carnations, he just comes in and with carnations. I've got the name Polly. Polly just came through. If you don't know Polly, just hold on to it, because sometimes I'll chuck a name out. It might be family, it might be a friend. So just, and I got Arthur as well. You can take Arthur. Arthur shouts through. I feel Arthur's he's in the spirit world. He just comes through, says, hello, I'm well. I'm doing really well over here. Someone, I feel that he would read books when he was on the earth plane. And he's saying, like, oh, he said the library over here, he said, is wonderful. He says, so he's learning quite a lot, because when we pass, some people like to carry on what they were doing on the earth plane, and that the spirit will give them that opportunity. And he said, I've read so many books. He said, it's unbelievable, and he says, I watch you from time to time up here. He said, I sit at a window and I look out and I can see you down there living your life. And he says, I'm proud of you. He says, I'm proud of you, of what you've done, how certain situations have come your way and how you have dealt with them as well. Okay. And he said, no other woman can do it like you did it, okay, and he praises you for what you've done, okay. There's a lot of people around you as well. There's a lot of spirit people around you as well, giving you healing as well, but to also helping you as they can help you, okay. And I don't know if you've actually spoken to spirit, but you can speak to them, because they will hear you and they'll help you as much as they can. I have a cat that passed into spirit. Yeah, can you take that? Because it's just showing me it's died, and he's just showing me laying down. But and that's how he, that's how he presents it. So you can understand what this gentleman is saying about the cat which passed into spirit. He says, well, he's with me, So I feel it's a male, because he said, I don't know if it was a male thing, but he's saying male, so a male cat, and he says it's a lovely little thing. I'm very close to it. He says, as well in the spirit world. I've got a couple of dogs as well. I feel someone in your family had dogs at one time. I want to go back on your mother's. You might not know this person, but I don't know why you're doing this. She's taken me back to your mother's grandmother, mother. So if you ever did any research, he said it will come up. For some reason, it will come up. She was well known for breeding dogs. So it's something if you want to look it up or in the future. But she's there, and you just bring these dogs in around you as well. I feel that you're more of a cat person than a dog person. You love the cats, and they love you as well. He just shows me pound signs again. He said he's showing me pound signs, and it's like gold leaves falling down over you as well. He's just showing me this. He's like he's standing over you with a pot, and he's just dropping all these silver goldy little leaves all around you. Okay, and there's pound signs dropping out. So just hold on to that. You never know what they can do for you sometimes. When you might be in a situation, you think, what's going to happen? And all of a sudden, something happens, something materializes, and it gets you out of that situation. I don't know what he's going on about. I'm trying to ask him. He's saying, no, it's a surprise for her. It's nothing to worry about. You're not going to be in debt. Nothing like that, he says. It's just something that's going to happen. Okay. He won't tell me when, because that's the type of gentleman he was. He wouldn't always say what he needed to be said or needed to be heard. You could ask him, but you wouldn't get an answer, if you can understand what he's saying to you there. And he's saying a rail journey by train is coming up as well. I feel it's a weekend away. I don't know, you've got a daughter. Yeah, it's one of your daughters. You're going. I feel it's London. I feel it's like a show. I don't know if you've talked about it at the moment or radio time, but it's there. Sorry. Have you? Yeah. Well, it's coming up again. It's something else that's going to come, and you're going to have a nice weekend away as well. And he says, I see you sipping champagne. You're going to have a really lovely weekend away. He's saying you're going to let your hair down. you know, and you're not going to go mad, you're not going to be tipsy whipsy, but, you know, he's just saying, you know, and you're going to enjoy it. It's something he's saying you're going to really enjoy it. He said, because they want you to enjoy it as well. You know, I feel at the moment you need some upliftment. That's what he's saying. You need some upliftment. You know, you've been down there a little bit. He said, you've been down there too long, my love. He says, you need to be uplifted, okay? You are, like I said, you are a strong person. You have got a strong personality as well. But sometimes, he says, you need to get out of the four walls as well. He said, sometimes even just going for a walk, sometimes, you know, he's making me laugh. He's saying, why don't you get a lead for your cat and walk it? Lead your cat. I've seen that happen. I've seen that as well. I've seen that happen. People walking their cats, but you know, and he says, no, the seriousness of it. He says, you know, do look after yourself. You do look after yourself. There's no health problems. I don't feel around you at the present moment of time. I don't feel that, you know. And he also says, you're going to live to a lovely, ripe old age, he says, you know, and he's got a pint in his hand. Now, that's interesting, isn't it, how he presents himself? But at the end of it, he's got his pint in his hand and he tips it up to you and say, thank you so much, my darling, you know, and he's always around you like they always are, you know, and you just speak to him, say hello, or you want to sit down and have a quiet moment, just talk to spirit, either as I'm speaking to you or mind thought, because they pick up everything, okay, and they will help you in any possible way that they can help you. They can't influence you, they can't do things, but they can, certain ways, certain things, certain situations can go in your favor, okay, and he will help you. He's okay then. He showed me long hair when he was younger, brushing your hair, you know. He said you used to find that relaxing, just stroking, just with your brush and just brushing your hair. Okay, you know what your name is saying? Your name brings in a lovely bunch of red roses. Okay, if you can understand that, she brings in a lovely bunch of red roses for you. And she says, take them with all my love. Okay. And someone who used to like poetry, would read poetry, used to like read poetry, just got a book of poetries. So I don't know if she's reading it. I don't know if she read it or someone who likes poetry. I feel that she's reading. No, I'll give it as I see it. She's reading it. She's got a poem book and she's reading it. So I don't know if you knew that she liked to read poet, but I feel it's a little book she had. Okay, it's a little book that she had that nobody knew that she had. Okay, and in a quiet moment, she would open it up and she'd just read these nice little poems. And she said, that was my special gift to myself. She says, no one really knew anything about it, not even my husband. It's something I kept personally for myself. But she said, I just want to share that with you now because I'm over here. She said, but the memories of reading those poems gave us a lot of satisfaction, okay, and a lot of joy as well. Because she says when she was a bit down or feeling low, she turned to her little book and she would open the poems and she would read the poems and it would bring inspiration and laughter and upliftment to her. Okay, so it's, in one aspect, it's important that they want you to bring yourself up as well. Okay, so discuss with one of your daughters having a weekend away, have a really good and lovely enjoying time because they want that to happen. There's also traveling abroad. I don't know if you've traveled abroad in the past, but you have, but there's more travel coming up as well within the next 2 years. Okay, and I feel it's a family union. Okay, it's a family union where you're going to travel abroad as a group. Okay, but he's saying to me within the next 2 years. Okay, so just hold on to that. Something a member of the family are going to suggest, and you're all going to say, yeah, that's a good idea, and it's going to happen. Okay, but that's within the span of 2 years. Okay, take all his love. Know he's there. Know that he's there with you. He's very, very, very proud of you. Okay, and know that love is always there for you. And sometimes he actually does put his hands on your shoulders. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever felt that, if you feel a bit airy, but he said, that's me just putting my hands on your shoulders, knowing that I'm with you and giving you guidance and giving you love. Okay, so thank you very much for working with me. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
You're into your last 10 minutes.
Where am I going? I think I need to come to you, young lady. Yeah. Grandmother in spirit, very much. Again, you look a little bit like her in the world. You like to party. Yeah, she's saying, yeah, she likes to party. That's what she's saying. She's a wonderful, wonderful spirit, isn't she? She, in her way, in her own way, also liked to have a good time as well. You know, she said life was too drab. She weren't like that. You know, even in her younger days, she'd get dressed up. She'd go to the dances in her days, weren't they? You know, used to eye all the men up and that. You know, she said, I had a ball. She said, I just enjoyed myself. And she said, it's happy that I see you doing the same thing. Okay, you keep your chin up, she said, because again, a lot of people sometimes see the goodness in you and they don't like it. I don't know if you've been hurt as well in the past because of your personality. You know, positively sometimes can bring negative, but she's saying, you know, don't get kicked down by them. You know, walk away from them, okay? Or even say your piece and walk away, you know, because I feel that she was a fighter when she was alive. You know, she wouldn't stand for no nonsense. I think she's very much, this is what I'm going to say to you. If you like it or not, I don't care. But this is what I'm going to say to you. Because that's how she makes me feel. That's how I want to pass over that message to you. And she said she wants you to be like that as well. Because I think sometimes you're not. She said sometimes you'll crawl inside and go, I don't want to say something. She said, no, stand your ground. Stand your ground, okay? Okay, there's a young man around you at the moment of time. He's quite interested in you. Or yes. Yes. She's saying you know he's good for you. He's very good for you. He understands you, and there's a lot of love there. He gives you a lot of love. Okay, he's very. I feel he's a sensitive chap as well, a sensitive young man as well, and I also feel that he feels spirit around him as well. I don't know if he's ever spoken about. It's something I think it unnerves him. He's aware of them, and he's thinking, you know, oh, what's this? You know, type of thing. But if he doesn't really want to talk about it neither, you know, but your granny's saying, if you can have a little quiet word, you know, say, well, we're not all that bad, you know, but he has the gift, to be honest with you. She's saying to me he has the gift, but it's up to him if he wants to use it, if he wants to find out about it. Because a lot of people have got it and they don't want to know about it. And Spirit said, that's fine, that's okay. But we're always here. If he wants to take it a bit further, then we're happy to walk down that road with him as well. He will do anything for you, she's saying. He would fight the fight for you, because that's the love that he holds in his heart for you. Okay? He said to you, he loves you. You know, from saying to you, he loves you, but he's not saying how much he loves you, but he really, truly loves you. She's saying to me, you know, it is a good partner, a good relationship, and you feel safe around him. Okay, he gives you cuddles as well, and you like being in his aura, because when we cuddle, our connections, our auras connect with one another, and he said you feel good about it. And when it's like you come away and you think, oh, that was lovely. You know, can I have some more? You know, type of thing. But he's very good for you. Your outlook in life is good. You know, you have a very positive outlook. You have a good heart. And she said you have. She said, don't knock yourself down. She said, you will do that. You will knock yourself down sometimes if you can understand what she's saying. And she's saying, don't do that. You know, you are strong within yourself. You have a strong constitution, okay? You can rise above situations which you think that you can't, but you can, she's saying. You know, she's showing me this apple pie. Don't you like apple pies? Can you take that? You love apple pies. She's like apple pies. She said, you know, I'd rather sit down and you eat an apple pie than put it in somebody's face. And as she's laughing as she says this, but seriously, she says, you know, you are a strong person, stronger than what you think that you are, okay? And she says, you need to understand that we're all here for you. She gives me, again, carnations for you. I don't know if you can take carnations. She can take carnations. She gives you carnations as well. And she shows me a little sparrow. No, sorry. It's a sparrow and a robin. Yeah, you get a robin. No, you get a lot of robins, because sometimes when a robin comes close, because they say sometimes it can be spirit. The robin is a spirit, and you see quite a lot of robins, and there's quite a lot of spirit around you. There's quite a lot of family linking around you as well, from both sides, your nanny's side and your mother's side, father's side as well. There's a lot around you, okay? A lot protect you as well. You've got a beautiful colour blue around you, okay? And you've got a lovely white light around you as well. And they come close to you at times when they need to be close to you. And sometimes you don't feel them around you, but they are around you, and they are protecting you. There's nothing bad happening to you. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with your health. You're in good. You're in very good health. Okay, and she's now in a church tower ringing a bell. So I don't know if you're thinking about getting married, but she's like ringing a bell. Okay, and she's laughing. It's just, but have fun, girl. Have fun before the big day. Okay, you'll make a wonderful wife. You've got a wonderful husband. Oh, husband. Okay, sorry, that just came out. So take her love. Know that she's with you, and she's always with you. She's always standing by. I've got a grandfather link just dropping in as well, saying hi, girl. You know, don't. And again, he's shouting out, "Don't take no nonsense. Fight the fight." Okay, and I've got a little Pekingese. I don't know if you know someone who got it's a little Pekingese dog just coming in, just around your feet. I think you can take that. No, we'll just take it because it might be it might be a little animal from the spirit world just around you, just to give you, you know, to know that they're there with you as well. Because I do know you have a love for animals as well, and so you attract them as well, and you attract them from this side, but you attract them from that side as well. Okay, nice been working with you. Take her love. Know she's with you. Know she's fighting for you. You know, fight the fight. She says, don't let them knock you down. If they do, pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and walk away because you're a beautiful soul. Okay, thank you very much for working with me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, all I can say is I know Lynn would be very pleased to know that you were listening.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Gooch!
Thank you.
Oh, hang on. I better. I'm going to say everyone that owns that. They couldn't hear me. Sorry, you guys. Yes, as always, whenever I get a message, I do like to just follow up with a little bit of validation for everyone's benefit. Interestingly enough, the lady that came through to you is the daughter of the woman I suspect to have been related to you, funnily enough. But that particular grandmother was the first person to ever come through to me from spirit. And she came through in my room, and from this very platform, a week later, because what happened was, I laid in bed and felt a hand on my shoulder, and my head was back to the door, or I was facing away from the door. And I assumed that someone had come into the room to tuck me in because I felt the blanket go back over me. I was only like 13, 14. Felt the blanket go over me. And I looked round because I could feel the hand on my shoulder. There was no hand there, and the door was closed. I tell a lie, I weren't 13, 14. I was about 17. I do apologise. Anyway, this is what happened. So anyway, I went to, and this is how I know how old I was, I went to church the following evening. And the medium from the platform said, by the way, when you feel a hand on your shoulder in your room, it's your grandmother. And that was a virtual mirror of that message from what you said. And I can prove it because we can look back. So thank you. And I know, and I can remember because I was speaking about that message, Tim Abbott was the medium who gave me that message many, many moons ago, because we was talking about it a couple of weeks ago on 2 Revs. So there we are. And yes, absolutely, everyone knows what Dad's like. You'll probably get guidance on your way home tonight. He would have definitely been keen to have given you directions. But there we go. But ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you. Michael Gooch! Well, friends, a few brief announcements, if I may, please. For those that haven't noticed, we now have healing candles to be burned throughout the service. They are available for 20 pence. We're keeping it cost just to make it viable. But they're available from the front table for 20 pence at the beginning of the service. You know, you you can do it at the end of the service if you want, but it won't be burning very long. So, beginning of the service, they are available to be burned next to the healing book. We have, of course, the raffle coming up, and I can't tell you who the medium's going to be next week because it's not been sorted out yet. But it will be sorted out over the next 24 hours or so, and I will be a good boy and put the poster up on time. I promise. Just a quick, plug. If anybody would like to join at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, we've got the two Revs, Reverend Tony, not to be confused with Healing Leader Tony, because he'll slap me if I do. But Reverend Tony up north and myself will be doing the two Revs online tomorrow at 4 p.m. And hopefully by the end of next week, touch wood, hopefully by the end of next week, I will have a very, very, very special announcement for you all. I can't say too much now. It's still being in the processes. But all I will say, this hall, 9th of September, save the date. That's all I will say. So, you heard it here first, but I didn't give away any details that will get me in trouble from the voice in my ear. Pardon? Oh, okay. And there are a few more seats left for the workshop, which is... Thank you. The 9th of July. The 9th of July. And that is obviously not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. So if you are interested... The drum healing is the week after. So the... Yes, it is. If you have a word with Eunice... Excuse me. Tickle, tickle. If you have a word with Eunice, she'll give you the details of that. So the workshop is the second Sunday of every month, and the drum healing is the third Sunday of every month. That's usually a good measure. But yes, so yes, 9th of July, and keep an eye out for the 9th of September. Say no more. Well, friends, the time is drawing to a close together once more, but let's join together for a brief moment as we close this service in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite under a banner of love, of hope, and of friendship. We know that life can sometimes give us lemons, Great Spirit, but in times like this, we know that unity, friendship, kindness, and love are all part of the recipe to moving forward in our lives. But when that is not enough, we ask you, Great Spirit, not to move the mountain, simply to give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again in your name. Amen. Well, we're going to say good night to everybody online in a moment. Thank you all online for joining us. Leaving us in suspenders. Yes, absolutely. A big well done from Adi to yourself, all the way from Inglemells. Lovely evening and evidence. Well done. And no slapping Rev Tony or Rev Nick. Well, yeah, we do tend to slap each other from time to time. But thank you all for joining us online. We're going to say goodnight to everyone online right now. And then they can listen to some music and you can win some prizes. But of course, one last time, a big thank you to our medium for this evening, Michael Gooch. A big thank you to Reverend Tony. Sorry, I nearly did it. Reverend Alan, God bless you, sir. And of course, thank you to Tony and the healers. God bless you all. And so from all of us here to everyone at home, good night and God bless you all. And I can't find the button there.